Welcome to NZAA by Flightbeam Studios. Beautiful example of the work that can be done and is being done on some of these new airport expansions by some pretty serious and obsessive developers. So initially just a view from the air, kind of a medium kind of a day where the lighting isn't bright but neither is it dim. So let's have a look at what they've done here at NZAA, starting with the new jetways. And as you can see, these jetways look really good. There are details here we simply have not seen yet in Flight Simulator. You can see the venting and air conditioning tubes there hanging at the bottom. And some beautiful work with textures just in wear. So this is not a bright, brand new, unused jetway. Compare to a standard jetway. This is from KC, one of the Asobo Studios releases. Again, compare the new jetways, NZAA, Flightbeam Studios, and here's a look at night from the front at Seattle, KC, and at night, the front from at NZAA. So now we'll get into the actual airport itself, beginning with some low-level and close-up look at some of the buildings and ground objects. And as you can see, we're in some kind of hangar area here out on the east end. This tarmac looks well used. The lines are really nice. They don't pop. They look like they're part of the colors, and the lines themselves look fantastic. They look like they're part of the airport as they should be. Get a little closer and begin to see the detail on these buildings. It's really fantastic. They're kind of dirty. Textures don't repeat. Look at these pillars on the right of the staircase. Fantastic. Looks so good. Windows, detail looks really, really nice. Begin to get into some of the car park areas here as well. And we'll begin to see, okay, this fencing looks fantastic as well. Really nice work. We'll begin to see some blurriness in the textures. They've chosen the 50-cent textures in some of these remoter areas of the terminal, and we'll see more of that here shortly, instead of the $10 textures, which are used. I can see the blurriness right there. Lots of blurriness. Roofs and fans look good. Flat tar roof, look good. Positioning of these trees is not random, by the way. None of these objects is random. This is all very carefully mapped. The beta testers from New Zealand and Auckland really thought it was fantastic and made sure it was correct. And here's some more of those blurry textures, the 50-cent textures. Too bad these are used back here. I'm not sure why. I suppose maybe as a frame rate impact, maybe it's just as an area that's remote enough that they weren't too concerned of how it would look close up here. Continue along. This wall of brickwork looks fantastic. Nice variety of vehicles. Move to some of the parking areas here with this dash, what is this, dash 8 in New Zealand colors. Looks really nice. Yeah. Ground objects and clutter as we would expect to see in an airport. And we'll move toward this hangar, and here's where we begin to see some of the obsessiveness to detail that we're going to see a lot of here at NZAA. Look at the detail here, the storage shelves with all kinds of, whatever they are, parts and supplies for aircraft maintenance on the right. And look at the roof structure, fantastic, really looks nice. See the detail on the pillar at right, the weathering, really nice. We'll continue our tour across the lower levels here. And just a big, big parking area. Some more of that blurriness and the 50-cent textures. A lot of variation in the cars. Wagons and SUVs and vans and you name it. And back into some more buildings. Notice the signage. There's just a lot of attention to signage here. And look at this concrete piering here with you can see the wear and the weathering on top, smearing from rain and dirt. Fantastic. Beautiful work. Still seeing some of the blurriness and textures in this back area, especially on these roadways. But that car park across the road looks really great. Take a quick look at some night lighting. Night lighting overall in this airport is right up there. It's up there with the best. Tanks in the gate areas look really, really good at night. And here they are in daylight. A lot more detail, and wow, don't they look fantastic? Really, really good. And we'll begin to take a closer look here at some of the roofing areas, first from a distance, then we'll get up close. But first, some of the passenger departure or pickup, I'm not sure which it is, but look at this detail. Really, really looks great. We'll travel along this roadway and the sidewalk through these bus stop areas and see some of the fantastic signage. The curb maybe is a little too bright, but it's a curb. Signage looks really, really good here on the terminal. Look at the reflectivity, nice texturing here. See this on the shiny surfaces, like the kind of marble we're seeing in these blocks, as well as on windows. We'll see lots of this reflectivity there on the rampway, passenger rampway on the right. Fantastic. A lot of careful work. All as it should be. Any NZAA Auckland dweller will tell you this detail is all the way it really is. And we'll look at the detail on these ventilation and air conditioning, maybe heating units on the left. Fantastic. Nothing left to, no randomness here. It's all really carefully placed. The signs again look really good. And look at the roofing. I mean, a lot of terminals, and especially in the last version of FS, we would have had flat roofs here. Look at this detail. The angle roofing, texturing, ventilation, the signage and the supports, not just a sign standing there unsupported. These small lights looking down, or cameras, maybe, I don't know what they are. Here, it's a bit of the gate area. Let's continue to look at some of this roof design. Fantastic work here, very carefully done. An overview of the, whatever that is, departure passenger areas with the signage down there. Illuminated signage we will see later. And just a bit to the north, through another extensive parking area. And we'll begin to move more westward here now. Look at this roof. Again, you know, you could have done one layer, would have been great, but they've done three. Your initial layer, the borders, second layer, third layer, antennas, satellite dish. All looks really good. Look at how dirty and worn it is. Lots of rain in Auckland, lots of weathering. Again, just a look to the north and a bit to the east, area we came from. So we'll continue on westward here toward the western part of the terminal. Lots of freight containers, fencing. Travel along this building on the right. Beautiful. Look at the detail. Let's get in a little closer. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really nice. And not just the external. Look at the brickwork inside. You can see some of it there. Stop signs, the bins, light poles. The lines look really good here. This is the way the lines are. Take a look at Google Earth. This is the way it is. Some vehicle parked here. Look, they look great. Some power supply units in here. They're not just all empty. That's good. Look at the detailed lines. Really nice work. Got your yellow lines as well as your no-go area. Your border lines here, the red and white for our vehicle traffic. Beginning to come into the gate area. Of course, this is the most important area because this is what we're going to see, especially if you're flying commercial jets. This is you're going to see a lot of this from the front. You can see the detail looks really good. Pillar on the right there looks fantastic. You can see some of the inside structure of the terminal through the glass, and look at the weathering and the marking from the rain along the concrete bases there. Lots of vehicles and trailers, baggage wagons, trucks. Got your conveyor on the right. Up down staircases. For workers, of course, workers and staff. No access area for passengers there. Look at the reflectivity on the glass. You see the clouds, sky. Fantastic. Interior details are pretty bare. They've just given us the bare minimum. They've chosen to concentrate on other areas. I think this is going to change in future products, and we will probably even see in this main terminal area an update, some changes here. I believe they're planning on some animations with passengers, which is really nice. Maybe they may have to adjust the transparency of the glass so we can see that better. But at night, I do believe, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we'll see a lot more transparency, so you can see through a lot better. Yeah, they may have to increase the lighting a bit when they add those passengers so we can really see them. But these gate areas themselves in this terminal area is really nice, and the lighting is fantastic. Oops, we just lost our aircraft. Oh, we're in Qantas now. Hope you're ready for that change. You may have a higher fare structure there. So yeah, just a look at the general gate area in this western portion of the terminal. Again, the tarmac itself looks really good. Personally, I'd like to see some more tire marks along these main gateway lines. I've seen some work at other airports. A little more tire marks, a little more wear there. Rubber on the ground would be an improvement in my mind. But on the whole, this terminal looks fantastic, actually, just as it is. Almost at nosebleed altitude now, looking back toward the eastern part of the terminal. And we'll go to daylight. And now we have the tarmac and this western portion of the terminal and the gates in daylight, and we can see the detail. And you see the tire, some of the rubber toward the center there, rubber tire marks, lots of tire marks here. Some of these guys have not been right on the line. Wow. Hope the tower has been complaining. Yeah, so we'll get some more close-up look at these buildings. The buildings, the angles. Look at this building and the line work here, how fine it is. The colors are so nicely done. A lot of fine work there, this with the signage and the lines. These buildings are fantastic. Continue to move to the south here toward the runway. Got some fencing, barrier fencing, and a lot of ground clutter and objects here. Just give the airport life as they should. look at the detail on the lines here. That's a lot of attention to detail. Now the tower is now a distant view in the eastern, central actually, part of the terminal. We'll continue to move toward the runway, single runway here at Auckland. And then we're going to take a look at some special features. The VDGS, Visual Docking Guidance System. I think this is only one of 2 airports out there using it so far. I could be wrong. I believe Aerosoft's Brussels is the other one. These grassy areas and taxiways look really good, really nice. Lots of, they're not clean, they're like they really are. Next up actually is the, I'm not going to tell you, I'll just surprise you. Next up we are going to see in a few seconds here a close up and dirty view of one of the really special features of this airport at NZAA by Flightbeam. So here we go. You change back to a night view for this first look, and then we'll get a view in the daylight. Heading back toward the heading back east toward the center part of the terminal. And yes, that is the control tower coming up quickly in view. Let's have a look at what Flightbeam has done here. A lot of nice work. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Yes. Wow. It really pops, doesn't it? Beautiful. Huh. I don't think there's a tower comparable to this one out there yet. We're going to see more of this because they have upped the ante here and really done some fabulous work. Obsessive. Wow. We should have a little switch for it to turn on the MP3 player, or I don't know what controllers do on their brakes, but yeah, so it's beautiful, and it's 360, a 360 view. You can look in any direction. Let's just switch to daylight for a moment and give you the, here we go. Yeah. Fantastic. Personally, I just love to see this feature. I love to park and then come and look at the control tower, or just put the control tower on and let Auckland operate for a while and listen to the chatter. And again, I mentioned we would take just one more quick peek here. The night view of the passenger departure arrival, I'm not sure, area at the terminal. Fantastic, yeah. On to the gates and the VDGS, the Visual Docking Guidance System. Really a nice feature, another special feature and a bonus for this airport. We're going to see a lot more of this, I do believe, for a lot of expansions now. Here we come. Almost at the gate. Cool spring morning here, probably about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and coming up to the gate. And you see that little yellow symbol in the center. Zoom in. I'm lined up so perfectly here, you're not going to see the red or left or right arrows on red arrows that pop up to show you that you have to pull a bit to the right or the left. But you are going to see the distance counting down. Initially it just says A320. It's identified the aircraft correctly. It needs to do that in order to give you the proper parking distances, of course. And I'm going to give you just a still shot, closer in view at 8.8 meters, and indicating we need to move right just a little bit. And here we are again, coming in. And we've got our stop signal. There it is. We're parked. Very nice. Okay. So that is NZAA Flightbeam Studios, a beautiful entry into the expansion, airport expansion market for Flight Simulator, and I hope you enjoyed this tour. Signing off until next time, this is Flight Doc Reviews.